So this video, the clocks are messed up. There's something going on with time. Has any of you noticed that? Say you have like 2 cell phones or something, or 2 different devices that can keep track of time. And when you're looking at the 2 devices, they don't have the same timestamp on them. Are you noticing that? The same timestamp is not on the clocks that you have. Because if you are noticing that, you're not alone, you all. You're not alone at all. Let me do this. I'm walking through the house trying to put something up. Something's going on with time, and what if they're setting the atomic clock? The atomic clocks. Now we have satellite clocks or something, but is it possible that we know time has been sped up? We know that. And the Schumann resonance has spiked. It has spiked way up there. Allo. It has like a bunch of dashes in it, pulses. What if for each one of those gaps, shalom, with each one of those gaps in the Schumann resonance, what if it's increments of time that they're kind of like shifting? What if it is something like that? Do you have any other devices that do not have the same type of time? Are they syncing? Hello, Sharon Rose. Are they syncing up, or is there a massive gap? Now, we know our bodies can feel when there's like a distortion of time because we don't have no energy. It's like there's not enough time in a day even to get the energy that we want to get. Time has literally sprouted wings and has started flying. That's what it has done. Cast but a glance at it because it's sprouting wings and it's flying away. Of course, that is not like in the reference of time. It's a scripture with money, more or less. I'm going to get this thing off the floor. I got a wasp or something that fell. Now, this is really serious. If you are noticing something like that, really, I don't know what kind of bug that is. If you're noticing something like that, put it in here. Good day, Bridget. The days are flying by. There's not enough time in a day. Before you do it, the morning's gone. And before I know it, it's going to be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it's going to be 6, and then it's going to be time for the 8:30 video on the YouTube. And if we're sensing it, I wonder if people in other parts of the world are sensing it too. I'm sure we got people in other countries. We do, you all. Let me put this phone like that for a second. Just look up there at my light. I need some chapstick on my lips. They're dry. Yeah, that feels better. I don't like my lips to be dry. You agree it's flying by. You get to bed around 3 o'clock, Marcy. Yeah, the Schumann resonance was terrible yesterday and your heart was racing for no reason. It scared me. I think CERN has something to do with it. They do. They're space and time continuing, creating disruptions and distortions. If they've opened up like they open up wormholes. They can rip time. What if they have tore a rip in time itself? And that's what's happened. You had a heart attack. Sharon, Marcy, honey, you had a heart attack and you didn't even know it because of the Schumann resonance spiking? Is 91 watching on here right now and 18 thumbs up? So we got more than 0 watching. When I looked at it, it says 444. 80 people here. CERN. In order for CERN to ramp up to the fastest speed ever, they needed a lot more electricity. And remember how they said we would have brownouts and blackouts? They have power distribution. Some countries are having to go through 2 hours or 6 hours or 30-minute increments without electricity because it's being diverted to the number one project, the national or worldwide thing right there. They've got to have it as much as they can get, you all, to do their experiments. Oh my gosh. Jane, he's still up from yesterday. You are exhausted. I bet you are. Thumbs up, you all. Not because of that. I didn't know you had, 5 years ago, Marcy, honey. That that got me going, thinking, oh my gosh, it's really powerful if that were to have happened to you. Yeah, it's never been that far, Danny. Love it, honey. You all, they're doing something. And it's not just, we have to look at the big picture. Other countries have their own version of CERN. All the major countries have their own. What if they are working in tangent with one another and with offshore and other places? They're pinging. You know how you can ping IP addresses and stuff? What if all of these other things are all being pinged and the energy is being directed at a specific location? What if, whether it be out there or down there or something that we cannot even fathom? What if? Yeah. The quickening of Art Bell. I've heard of the quickening, but I don't. Art Bell, are you talking about that Art Bell, that financial guy? Or is Art Bell something else? Or in space, Jay Ferris, yeah. The top chat, you all. No, there's reports of enormous gaps in time itself between one device and another, even though both devices are within range of each other, but significant time lapse. And within, I don't know, a week, that time, the distance of time stretched out like maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 more minutes within a week or two. Oh, okay. Was George Norrie? Shows you how much I know about stuff like that, you all. I don't know about famous people, their names or anything. And everything is this. Do you feel like there's like an eerie silence out there too? You can feel it in your consciousness. You can feel it like in the ether. Can you feel it like a silence? And it's hovering. It's a hovering. It's like a hovering silence. And it's like they heard the sound of silence. Remember that song? And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. People talking without listening. Yeah. That song. There's truth to that song too. You slept more than normal. They talk about a lot of unknown things. The rotation is slowing to be noticeable. It changed the movements. We got to be prepared for everything. First and foremost on the inside of here, you all. Right here. Because I'm at the point now. I really am at the point. I'm feeling like I'm at the point within my being. The storing up and stuff like that, I feel like I don't even want to do it anymore, because when it all comes right down to it, if you have to leave, you can't take it with you. You can't. I don't know. I mean, it's good to be prepared physically, It is, especially if you have not done it. If you really feel within your spirit you need to still get prepared physically, do it. Some people may be at that point where they have stored up and they've got all that they could possibly think of in preparation. They may think, I'm done with it. I'm so done with it. Yeah. Don't feed into the fears, be strong. I don't think anyone in here is feeding into fears. They're not. Raising awareness would not be equated to fear in my book and in a lot of other people's book. It's good to be aware so you can prepare spiritually and physically. And you got to keep your eyes and ears open and keep your mouth shut so you can hear even more, really. A good force field coming, just powerful? I don't think so. Yeah, you may think so, but there's something out there. It's lurking. It's lurking in the shadows. It's ready to rear its ugly head. It is out there. It is. The deep state, the shadow governments of the world, they're not going to make it this far only to throw their hands up in the air. They're not. Oh no, they're going to push back with all they got, because they're not going to go down without a fight at all. They're not. That's why it's going to get really rough. And if they have to disrupt time, if they have to disrupt sleeping patterns, anything else, they'll do it. They'll do it. If they have to disrupt your peace, they have to shoot out their frequencies, they'll do it. Anything to slow down the interference with what they wish to accomplish. Coast is coast. Prepare for at least an initial event and then you'll have enough to, that's right, Jay Ferris. You'll have enough. Your legs are weak and numb. Is anybody else having weak and numb legs? Your legs are really heavy and stuff like that because what's happening does affect our bodies and our psyches and our animals. It's like rain off and on here where I'm at. And I don't know if it's raining in other parts of the United States either. You're short of breath. Yes, it's all about love. Love on the inside. You can persevere with it. Without it, you ain't going to make it that far. You're going to be really miserable. Really miserable without it. And then you'll be a miserable person to be around without it. Really, you will be. Because you'll have nothing that can control that misery on the inside of you. It is the answer. Getting your legs were fatigued last week. The Prince of the Air, yeah, it could be coming. Yeah, you also. Are you noticing this? Is there anyone on here that is noticing a huge gap in time on any of your devices that they should all be in sync, especially if they're like, from out there, not just you setting the time yourself. If it's a digital device like a cell phone or TV or computer or something that is way off, or an iPad or something like that, are you noticing fluctuations in it? Yeah. Sleeping all day. That's right, you are. Because if you're not, then I guess we have isolated incidences, because everything's being affected with the change that's taking place. Bad headaches. Let me read this, Janine. You just Gave up last night. Oh my gosh. You heard YT Prepper. Who is that? I've never heard of the YT Prepper because there's lots of preppers on here. There's no moderators on here. But hello, Justice. The colors of your phone. And if you are a person like me who does not update your cell phones to the newest version, you may notice that even though you're not doing the updates, you have apps on your phone that are updating themselves because they know that a lot of people are not going to be updating their cell phones. So the apps have a mind of their own and they're updating for you. It's going to get to the point, is what it's going to get to. When you don't have the said device or the said chip or something like that that you need to have in order to communicate, you're not going to be able to. Then you're going to be back to old school, is what you're going to be back to, like Amish. You may not even have the ability to. Landlines are going way out too. Everything's being replaced with fiber optic. They're going to phase out the regular landlines that run, you know, with the telephone cord and stuff like that. I mean, you could get a satellite dish or something, or satellite phones. Turn off your notifications and your data and stuff like that, and they cannot get you when you leave your house. They can always track you. They've got hidden things, and even in a computer, if you think, well, I have destroyed the hard drive and stuff like that, there's no way they can get the data. They got back doors to back doors. You can't hide from them. They created that technology, and you know that they made it foolproof. They made it to where they alone can get in. There was Yuval Harari. I did a video a long time ago, seems like so forever ago, that AI was about to seize the master key of life. And I won't be surprised when it does. It seizes the master key. And there's your mutating event there too. Because with it in control, you don't have any control outside of your own body. You don't, or you're where you're at. You won't have any. If you want to connect with the world, you're going to have to go through it, other than your physical things. You can go to your app settings and turn off updates. Yeah, you can turn off your updates to your app settings. Mine are completely turned off, but still, my phone, like in my messenger, not messenger, my regular cell phone thing, when you push something, somehow it had these two things floating around on the screen from my text message. And I said, how did that happen? I had to shut my phone off. I've never had that happen before. Ancient. Yeah, it's ancient. You're going back to smoke signals. I think that's perfect. It is perfect. Hit that button, you all, because time is, there's something going on with time itself. Other than it's speeding up, there's not enough hours in a day. And you got to work harder, a whole lot harder to get accomplished what you wanted to get accomplished. Otherwise, it's not going to. Even though the day goes by faster, your body's getting more wore out. Gina, don't tell me my body's getting wore out when my body feels just fine. Okay. Why do you think they got all these energy drinks and stuff? They do. They got all these energy drinks to give us energy because we're exhausted, totally exhausted at times. There are, DJ Honey, there are still people who feel that they, even if they don't get on social media or have a cell phone or something, they still feel like there is an all-seeing eye watching you. There is. You cannot go anywhere. You can't. You're being watched everywhere you go. They got insects, anything. If they want to listen to you, they're going to listen to you. They are. You better be careful what you say, or you're going to be like in China. You're free to travel anywhere you want, but you're not free to open your mouth and speak against things that you're not supposed to, because if they hear it, because there's listening devices everywhere and the cameras everywhere. They're going to know about it and you're in trouble. And just wait till they do the thought crimes, because they were talking about that at the WEF. When they get the brain things, they know your thoughts, with your thoughts. Once they do it, they'll be able to take your thoughts and make an image of who it is you're thinking about or what it is you're imagining you're doing, and you're going to get yourself in trouble. You're supposed to hold every thought captive. You are. Just if you dwell on good things, you should be able to keep yourself safe. Dwell on things that are pleasant and peaceful and stuff like that when that day and age comes, because it's coming. You may say, well, they can't get in my mind. They can't get in my body. I didn't take the you-know-what. It don't matter. They're still going to try to do it. They're still going to try. They're going to read your body language everywhere you go. Well, I'm not going to go anywhere where there's cameras. There's cameras in the sky too. They're drones and they're insects. There's little cubes, and they can zoom all the way down from a satellite and see the face of a coin from way up there, all the way from way up there down to the sidewalk, and see the face, see who's on your coin, and read the date. That's how good technology is. You can't escape them. Now, I guess you could go in the woods or something like that and try to hide. What happens when the leaves fall off, you all? The leaves fall off and they can see through the trees, or they send some drones in there looking for you. It's a sci-fi world is what it is. It is, you all. So, Frank, honey, you can't get a clear picture of Sasquatch or a UFO or anything paranormal. Yeah, that's right. They can't. They just don't know how. We don't believe that. That's a very good point, Frank. An extremely good point. Yeah, they can tell your blood type. That's right. They can. Yeah. Oh, my goodness grace. Our hearts hold a unique print, just like our fingerprints. They have been telling us, it's just like the movies, you all, if you're just tuning in. And I don't want to make this a long video. I just wanted to see if you've noticed any difference in time in your devices and things like that, because we know that time feels like it has sped up. It has. And we get woke up all throughout the night. You know, that's when they do. Notice that when they take somebody against their will and they want to get to them, they wake them up all hours of the night, to where they can't get rest. That's kind of what's happening when a hostile force comes in and does that to you. You can look at it on an individual basis, or you can look at it on a worldwide global level. Same thing's being done to those who you can't get no sleep or nothing because something is keeping you awake, or you have the constant ringing and frequencies in your ears. It's to break you down in order to get control. So you'll become submissive. You won't have the much energy to fight back if they're keeping you off your toes. Yeah. LRAD, you talking about LRAD or NORAD? It's going to be used on the people from the convoy. Is there a convoy? Frequency, oh, okay. They were going to use on the people. Yeah, they tested those out on a crowd, the military did, with their own soldiers, with their thing, and they were just like holding their ears like that. They couldn't even escape because it got inside their head. You put the earplugs in, you've been hearing noises go through your head. They can get in your head. The voices can, because they're not your thoughts. They're putting their own thoughts in your head. 3 a.m. Dragonfly, it seems to be a time that a lot of people are waking up at 3 a.m. MIP, How many other people cannot give a like on this video? There may be a lot of people. There really may be. Time is of the essence. We don't have much time to get all the information out that needs to get out, you all. We do not. And things are going to change rapidly. They're already changing very, very rapidly. And it's really hard to believe everything you see on TV when you see it, because it's literally on that screen and you don't know if those physical people are physically at this place or if it's the propaganda machine literally doing its propaganda with the CGI and stuff and making you think that all of this is taking place. Hitler had it, the propaganda machine. Some would say that we're entering the Third Reich. Yeah, or the fourth, or whatever it is you all. We were in the fourth industrial revolution or something. Yeah. This is why the pharmaceuticals, yeah, that's true. Your clocks keep losing time lately. Thank you, Earth Song Beacon. Time moved up twice, 2 a.m. at HR. And they want to have a more powerful clock that can keep up with the blockchain. The blockchain. Remember how we learned about the Dewey Decimal System in school? So you got so many, you got the decimal, you have so many like digits past it and stuff. That's what the blockchain runs on, stuff like that. All those little decimals, those little bitty digits. And then time itself is being broken down into those subatomic, more or less, digits. The doomsday clock. Yeah. Time is messed up. There's 80 people, Nika, honey. You might need to refresh your thing. You might. Time is just breaking down. Well, that could be. That sounds kind of plausible. It really does. Time's breaking down. I don't want time to break down. Then we're stuck in a living, you know what, HE double hockey sticks. But then our bodies have biological clocks in them, do they? We are a biological clock. Our body ages. And with time, parts of our body starts breaking down. Not everybody. Have you noticed that? You can have someone who can drink, who can smoke all their life. They live in their hundreds and their body is still functioning. How on earth is that possible? They remain healthy. They do all those things that are not supposed to be healthy. Yeah, we're a biological ticking clock. Everybody who has this flesh and blood like this, your body is it's got a biological clock in it, just like everyone else, even though you may think it doesn't. If you're flesh and blood, you got one. Yeah. The patents, communications, clones. Oh, the clowns are keeping you busy. That's okay. Yeah. Several hundred years, and then you have Methuselah, 969 years. Then you have Enoch walk with God, and he was no more because God took him away. Took him away, he just poof. It's like that. To the other realm, the other dimension. The older we get, the more we realize the sands of time. Hey, I wrote a poem about the sands of time, and I shared it. I shared it on my Facebook last year, and then this guy put my poem into words, and then I made a YouTube video on it, Sands of Time. Yeah, it was pretty cool. You have no memory before the age of 6. And isn't that around the age of 5 or so, and maybe below, where they get the people, is what they do? Yeah. Cain was the serpent's son. Yeah. Slew his brother, and the ground cried out. Yeah. Then he had a mark on his head, because if anybody would find him, they would slay him. So how could it be the only civilization just in that Garden of Eden? Because that's what he said. Because you did this, and then they put a mark so nobody would slay him when he went out. So there was other races out there, you all. There was other. Gina, you watch out. You're going to flip over and hit your head on that thing. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Days of our lives. I'm gonna, when I get off of this YouTube video, you go to the community section, and I'm going to put my poem, Sands of Time, in the community section, so you can read the Sands of Time. It's a beautiful poem. It is. And someone made it into a song, and I don't mind. Yeah. Yes. Elizabeth, hello, yeah. Get your lamps all trimmed and burning. Remember what happens at the midnight hour when the bridegroom is coming. The foolish virgins told the wise ones, give us some of your oil, because they didn't have enough. They said no, because there won't be enough for us. You go out to those who sell and you go buy your own oil. That's what they told them. You go out, because they did not prepare. So while they were away, the bridegroom came. Boom. Because they were not preparing, and they wanted to take from the wise ones, and the wise ones said, no, no. So I'm going to go, you all, and with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you all, and go to the community section. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to post the Sands of Time in the community section. Love you.